Good afternoon, one and all.
Bring your mic up.
Good afternoon, one and all. Crumbles always put me on the mark. The other day, he called me up on a Tuesday, says, I want you to go on my show Thursday. I said, that is kind of cricket. He said, well, I'll be there. Cup matches is around the corner. And I hope it will be a very, very good game and be two good teams to be selected and be passionate, because in our day, I was a passionate player. And passionate player. First of all, let me thank Heritage Productions for this atmosphere and all the awardees today. I see that many former cricketers here. I see a gentleman there, Wilbur Bridges. He was in St. George's team, 1950s. I think not too many hours left, Wilbur, in that team. But we're still young, we can still play. Today, I've been talking about, I'm a little disturbed on our cricket, how our cricket is going. In 2007, I was in Trinidad watching the Bermuda team play. And I listened to Premier Brown says, if you want to get on the international scene, I will find you the money. He found $11 million. And I thought that they was on a high. When you go to the World Cup, you must be on a high. He said, I don't want you to be sitting on your wall from Dockyard to St. David's. And I think that's what they've done. We have been from here to there. And it's disturbing. And when I see players like Johnny Stowe, 1958, we was in Jamaica, went to the first time we went on a tour to Jamaica. The only person who was missing out of that team was my good friend Eugene Woods down there, Buck Woods. I wanted fire with fire. And that's why we met into Jamaica. Gilchrist, Chester Watson, top players. First time we played on turf, we done very well down there, very well. And talking to Johnny, we was going to a little community in Jamaica called Forest. And when we got there, it's been raining so much. We saw a gentleman taking kerosene oil, putting on the wicket. I said, oh Lord, what we got something to know? And lit the fire, and said, man, it's drawing the wicket up. Drawing the wicket up. They wanted to play. So they wanted to toss and send us in. We made 52 runs. 52 runs. And all we done is poke the balls in the fields around. Going forward, we never played on type of wickets like that. In the hands. So otherwise, that was an experience. So they beat us by 1 wicket. They got 9 for 53. Austin Cheesy Hughes got 7 out of the 9. And one time during that time field, I was in the outfield. I took this brilliant catch, and I got lost. Everybody was ready. I fell in a ditch. When I came up, my white clothes was red. My hat was off, red soil was in my hair. I said, Chet, God bless him. He ran and said, you all right? I said, I'm all right, but I'm just filthy right now. I won't tell you what happened after that. Otherwise than that, I think cricket is a passionate game. Very passionate game. Nothing wrong with being passionate, but also I want young players today to understand They must learn the rules of the game and must respect officials. This is what the problems we got today, young players. And I look in the papers, banned, this person is banned, that person is banned. Where are we going to? What could we do, Randall? What could we do? All I ask, any young man, any former players, will pick up one-on-one basis and explain the game to them. We have an abundance of talent in this country, abundance, but we need to go ahead because I want before I pass, I want the Bermuda team to get back in the World Cup.
Yes,
Because
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Albert Donovan.
While we're congratulating and asking you to come forward, Madam Minister, I'm going to be slapped 4-4 because I overstepped my boundaries. I should have had Mr. Neil Painter and Mr. Albert maybe make a couple comments before the minister came forward. Yeah, could you talk for how you want it?
I present to you Mr. Rudolph Barsalmans.
Audience to hear.
I just gave pretty all the time. Was here. Yes. And I seem very excited today. I'm glad on my decade. I come on the songs here towards me.
Yeah, oh yeah. You agree with the two, didn't you? When I saw you come up to the driveway, I said, well, if your smile is going to represent what it is to be all about, we're going to have a bright day. Yeah, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Wilfred Burgess.
I must give credit to this committee that the organizers that took this into consideration to remember some of the old college players. I think it's a great thing that this is continuing, and I hope God that will never stop. But I can give credit to Albert Chapman, met him 50 Darrell, and matter of fact, a friend of mine is Professor Century Reading that I met when I was a young man. They encouraged me and go at it, Cocky Steed, the late Cocky Steed. And first year in St. George's, they took me as leader there, and I was angry. I was doing the best bowling in the league, but they didn't play me. I said, I'm not going to play, I'm going to play for Somerset. So they said, you can play for who? I said, if St. George's don't play me next year, I'm going to Somerset. I want to play cup match. So I want to give a little insight to young children. You have any young kids that plays cricket, you can play all the cricket you like in the world until you make cup match and walk out on their field cup match morning. Believe me, it's a different game altogether. You're shaking, you don't know what to do, you can't walk. And I'm a captain on the Bumby, but he played together. I mean, I was been in Somerset. He went 49, went 50. But believe me, it's a great game. I hope to God that they don't let cup matches die. All you committee just keep it going, and I thank you all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you Charles Fowler. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Louis Red De Silva.
Put the hat on, man. Put the hat on. You know, that's your signature. Put the hat on. Right?
I look at you right now and say, hey, Adrian got his hat on, let us stick with you. Let me say to you, these are important tools. My father, or my first image of carpentry was my father. Taking off his hat, very similar to this, and tossing it in the air. Then a wicket was taken back and go. Remember that. That's my first image of carpentry. And then, my son made me this thing to carry with me to carpentry. So I figured if I have on my hat, and my mask, and my stick, with my son as my future, I'm going to learn first.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Quentin Sherrill.
Margaret Toy. First of all, they say thank the Heritage Product pick me for this award, and I really appreciate it. And I like to say, like, when you as a young guy, youngster coming up, playing for South the Rangers, you have to have a lot of patience. I tell you, to make your first team, by like Alvin Lee, Lloyd, all these guys, so you guys say you play in the white league before you got a chance to play in the big league. Like me, John Billard, Charles Simons, we just had to place the winning. And for me to get in the betting lineup, I came to a situation where they have no bet. I said, okay, no bet, I'll take it. So that's how I became open bet. I went open bet. That's why I got the team and opened up after the state, opened up after them. I'd like to thank you for everything, and thank you very much.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Wendell Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Protocol having been established. First of all, I'd like to say that playing cricket and playing cup match was never about personal achievements and personal records. For these last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had the real privilege of doing something very different that I've enjoyed. And that is, I've had the honor of interviewing some of the past players. And some of them have been Dennis Wainwright, Barry Kudo, I see Winston Coach Fudd here, and they've had an interview with Randy Horton, and Mr. Bonnie Simons will be tomorrow. And one of the things I'd like to say is that I've come to realize in my later years just how significant cup match really is. I always remember Red De Silva coming to me when I was captain, letting me know, Wendell, you better not lose this game no matter what. and last year, as you all know, there was a period when it looked like St. George's was going to lose because we were 70 for 2, and all of a sudden 110 for 7. And the same thing happened. Your successor came down, and Mr. Neil Painter led play, so no, we better not lose this game. And that passion that Mr. Bonnie Simons talked about is something that is so significant, but more so than that, I'd like to say that it's the love for the game that these former players have let me realize is so important. And whether you're Somerset or St. George's, really, it doesn't matter which, but hopefully this love for the game and the importance of cup match will continue forever. And thank you to all of the legends. I see a number of you here, and before some of you go, I'd like to get your numbers so that I can continue to do a little bit similar to what Heritage Productions do. And I want to just finally conclude by saying thank you to Heritage Productions for this award. It's much appreciated.
Present to you, Lexington Said Ron.
Thank you, Ron. First of all, let me say thank you to the Heritage Production for selecting me. Cricket. It's a game I loved. Let me take you back. It didn't just happen. From the early days of playing cricket around Curvin Avenue in front of Mallow's Bakery. We played in the wood there. Mr. Mallow was probably the first promoter of cricket around Curvin Avenue because we broke up all the window panes. But he just loved to see the kids, the guys playing. Dick Dane, Earl Braun, Nick Douglas, these was Gravel Payne, these are some of the guys from Curvin Avenue. And then Robbie Schrader's around Smith Hill. If you could bowl Robbie out, you got a snowball. As his wife said, you're giving away all the profits, because he couldn't bat a lick. That was also, so we went around to Smith Hill early after school, got a snowball, bowl Robbie out. Then you went around Mallow's Bakery, and you got the cakes. The other place we went was around to Social Club. We went around to the junior team in Young Men's Social Club. There we played across Princess Street in the road. If you wanted to hit, bullseye goes in, so you worked hard to get a hit. We played test matches down further near Augusta's funeral home. Randy, you remember that, Randy? Right? As a matter of fact, I think, Randy, your team bowled my team, Ken Richardson, Danny Brown, and I think you bowled us out for seven runs. And I think we gave you 2-1 there. But those were key contests. You played in between the walls. So if you had fielders around, you just couldn't score any runs. But that was the foundation of our cricket. We really played street ball. And then we moved to the senior team of Social Club. From there I was invited to go to the Point Hill Stars. And Charles Dolphin invited me up. And I heard Sam say he had to wait to get into the team. Well, I went to Point Hill Stars as a fielder. You know, you never got a hit. You batted number 11 and you fell out. You never got a hit. When they moved to Devonshire, they joined forces with Devonshire. And I think that's where my cricket knowledge really began. At Social Club, I had to thank Clayton Richardson, Jackie Dorham, Eardley Richardson, what's his name? A few people there. But at Devonshire, that's where my cricket really began, with the likes of Charles, Dewey, MacDonald Swan. They were instrumental in letting you know how the game should be played. Not only how the game should be played, but how you should look on the field. I remember my wife telling me one time, she used to always watch my wife, and then one time something happened and she said, I don't wear them, so you wash them. Supposed to be a supporter, but from Devonshire we moved on to playing Bermuda and Cup match. And as I have always said, you play cricket, but there's no match like cup match. I've heard, and it is true, there are some cricketers who they get the shakes. Like, you had to see it to believe it. Well, I was the complete opposite. I never felt any of that. My thing was, all these people came to see me. Curve and everything. I never expected to play cup match. On curve. And so I have seen guys, hey, Lee Rena's bullet, man. But it's been a wonderful ride, and I would like to thank the Heritage Production for selecting me, and this is one of my best recognitions. Thank you very much.